Hello YouTube, this is that Yi guy. Since Lost Ark have launched, I wanted to go over some of the features that I think are really important to know and some of the tips that I think are really good to know as well. So the first thing I want to talk about is a convenience feature that's not in most other games. So that is the Bifrost system. So Bifrost can be found right underneath the map or by pressing Alt W. So by using the Bifrost, you can save different spots on the world map, including remote islands. So as you get to the end game, you're gonna see that there are certain locations that you would really want to go to, but you can't always travel very conveniently. That's where Bifrost comes in. So to use a Bifrost system, you simply have to go to the location you want to save the marker at, and then you click save location with the menu up. Once again, you can access it here and you can save the location. From that point on, you can simply click move and you'll be teleported all the way over there. And it will cost you 1,000 silver to do it, but it is very worth it. It's very helpful for daily tasks. It's very helpful for the bosses that are on long respawn timers. So that's going to be really helpful. Next one is also relevant if you have access to the pet. If you can get premium by purchasing it or simply exchanging gold for the crystals. So that's something you can also do. In Lost Ark, if you are a free-to-play player, you can still attempt to purchase some crystals. So you can simply go buy crystal here, and then you can use the gold you earn in-game in order to purchase the crystals, which in turn you can use to purchase premium and things like that. So that's going to be very good to know. For example, you can purchase it here. It will cost you 112 gold to get 95 crystals. And with the crystal you have, you can go and buy the crystalline aura. It will cost you about 420. And yeah, so that's one way to spend the gold you have in-game. And as you go through storyline, as you develop rapport with NPCs, as you grind the weekly Abyss dungeons, you actually get more and more gold. So that's something you can do to get like the auras for yourself in game. And once you do have an aura, you can actually use your pet features at its fullest, and you can access to the pet. And one thing that most people don't know is that you simply can hold down control and right click your pet, and then it will give you access to the pet functions. And then when you click the pet function, you can actually remotely store your items from anywhere. You can access your personal storage, roster storage. You can access market anywhere anyways. You can check the mail. This is the equivalent of talking to a mailbox NPC. So that's going to be helpful from time to time. And more importantly, you can repair all your gear remotely by using this feature. So that's going to be very nice to know. I'm just going to quickly go over the fact that you can also apply to Proving Ground remotely. You do not need to go to the town at all. You can simply access this menu and you can set your vocal coordination, and yep, you can select and you can just queue for the match. So the next thing I want to talk about is the settings you should tweak in game for a better experience. So as you're fighting big bosses late game, it's going to get really hectic. So you don't have to worry about the early game when you're playing by yourself or playing with just one or two other people. But when everyone's casting massive AoEs and meteors, the boss's skills will be harder to see, and seeing them is going to be essential for staying alive. So what you can do is that you simply go to the option in the setting, go to gameplay, control, and display. That way you can limit and see what effects, whose effects that you want to be able to see in order to just be able to know when there's something you need to dodge. Because I can promise you, one of the coolest things about Lost Ark is the combat effects, but one of the worst things is seeing a teammate's combat effect completely overlapping a boss's and not being able to dodge and get yourself killed because of that. So, and the next thing is the combat setting. Auto load trade HUD is gonna be kind of annoying at times too, because say you see a tree you want to chop down, you can just go up to it, press G, you're gonna start chopping it down. But with this menu toggled on, what it's going to do is that it's going to automatically switch you to the trade menu. At that point, if you get hit by an enemy and you try to use your skill to attack, you're going to just be confused because you're just trying to throw javelin, you're trying to do all your trade skills. By disabling this, it will still let you chop the wood, but without the inconvenience of trapping you in this menu when you don't want to. So even after you toggle this, if you want to, you can still manually, by pressing B, switch the trade. So I think this is very, very easy toggle off for me. So that's just something I want to share. Another feature I find extremely convenient is the fact that you can just go to the map and access the tribe ports from anywhere on the map. It doesn't even have to be the zone you're in. You can just simply go to another zone, another area's map, and simply teleport to the tribe port there. But even more conveniently, say you're doing a quest and the NPC is somewhere, you can literally click on this navigation tab right there on the NPC and it will go to the area you're supposed to go. So even if I'm in another zone, it's going to immediately show up where the quest NPC is going to be, and I can just teleport to the nearest tribe port directly from the map. Similarly, if you want to go sailing, you can simply click ready to sail and save yourself a lot of time once you have that feature unlocked as well. So as you're progressing, there are going to be people who give you advice where you only need to do the main story quest to get to level 50 and the end game. While that is true, there's something different for the North American version that's not in the other versions. Because in this version, you can actually, from the side quest, get rewards such as uncommon engraving recipe selection chest. What this does is that every single class has specific class engravings. That what they do is that they fundamentally change how the class is played. So for example, for the Berserker, my engraving allows me to be permanently berserked. So I can permanently run faster, get mitigation, have the drawback of being lower HP, but run faster, attack faster, and everything. As you can probably imagine, this is a huge game changer for the build. And having access to this before the end game grind, where you will otherwise have to grind the end game to get it, you can literally get this by the time you hit around level 39 or 40 in the main story, if you do all the side quests. So I recommend just taking your time, do the side quests, watch all the cutscenes. Honestly, just a lot of them are really good. So you kind of want to enjoy yourself. If you just skip the story and don't give you a chance to get immersed in the world, it's very easy to burn out. But at the end of the day, just have fun the way you want to. If you want to rush and be hyper competitive, you can always do that as well. But I recommend you at least do all the side quests that can give you these engravings. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any other questions, please feel free to leave it down below.